So I promise I will try to finish my concluding remark very quickly so you guys can get out of here, all right? But first of all, really thanks for the wonderful introduction. I do want to say that like generic, I think I was actually in Office of Generic Drug before. And I want to really emphasize that our generic is really built upon science. And the research is really a critical piece of our generic program. And our research continues to support the advancement of a generic drug product development from both a product quality perspective as well as bioequivalence perspective, because you really need both elements in order to ensure the safe and efficacy of the generic drug product. And as you probably already hear throughout today, our research support the quality assessment of various complex generic applications, also not just quality assessment, but also the bioequivalence assessment in terms of formulation approaches, manufacturing, performance, and demonstration of BE. And I want to share with you my perspective actually developing a generic, especially for the complicated one, is not an easy task, right? It's not like just like, okay, you put this and give it to patient and then look at the clinical endpoint, you get it done. No, I think it's more complicated than that. That's why our research always focus on the critical aspect as well as the innovative aspect of the drug development. This includes the analytical method for pharmaceutical, for assessing pharmaceutical equivalence and bioequivalence of complex generic drug products. Just give you an example, like developing assessment criteria for formulation and microstructure sameness of the complex generics, such as semi-solid topical products, as a demonstrate, really is not an easy task because, right, like you are trying to use those surrogate to replace the clinical or the PK endpoint study, which really can help to speed up the development of generic drug in this area. And as discussed today, the agency continues to support the development of more predictive in vitro testing to establish the bioequivalence as well as the quality standard for these complex generic drug products. As I want to point out that our office actually work very closely with the OPQ, the Office of Pharmaceutical Quality, work really closely with the Office of Generic Drugs to really continue to overcome a lot of our scientific challenges in this area. And the result of the research is not just to, okay, publish the PSG. Actually, the outcome of the research also help us to advance the policy as well as in the future regulation for the generic drug products. And then most likely, I think the industry may not realize that, and this research outcome also help to speed up and facilitate more streamlined assessment in both a bioequivalence area as well as product quality areas. So we remain committed to maintaining transparency with regard to the expectation and communication in the research area, how we actually translate those scientific outcomes to the regulatory use between the agency and the industry. And our standards for improving the quality of the submission and enabling an efficient development and review of generic drugs remain consistent. And we pretty much remain committed to really work with our industry to facilitate and accelerate the generic drug development. And thank you for all the excellent presenters as well as my colleagues for your continued contributions in advancing generic drug development. Remember, generic drugs actually about 90% of the market. So I think it's really thanks to all your hard work and really try to think outside the box, continue to make the high quality as well as equivalent generic drug available to the US patient. And thank you for your attention.